guys, Megan here with Beautiful by Megan Horse, and I'm going to show you how to do a basic boy's haircut. Here we go. This is my little nephew Emmett, and he is very excited to get his haircut. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to determine the length that we're going to do around the perimeter. So I'm going to comb the front forward, and I'm going to trim it. I'm going to comb that down. I always pull the ear down a little bit. And I'm going to slide my scissors in there and trim it. I'm going to comb it down. You can also have them hold their ear down if you feel like you're having a hard time getting around the ears. Just going to kind of connect that. Moving around to the back. Put your head down for me, Emmett. Make sure he holds his head all the way down. You kind of want to look at their hairline. Make sure you're not cutting it above the hairline. So I'm going to take it right in here. Make sure the hair is combed down, damp and not wet. I'm going to do the same on this side, which is comb it forward. Tilt your head this way for me. And then I'm going to comb it down. Okay, so now that we have our length, those hairs behind the ears can be a little tricky. I'm going to start off in panels. Just going to move back around to this side, and I'm going to take the section in front of the ear, and I'm going to hold my hand facing down. So I'm going to be palm to palm, and I'm seeing where that front hair is. Do you see how I can see where the front hair is that I cut? And now I'm going up, and I'm trimming the hair. Now it's important that you hold your hand 90 degrees out from the head. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking a little bit from the section in front, and I'm holding the hair. I can see where the shortness is of the hair on the perimeter. I can see where the previous section is, and I'm trimming. You can take a minute and kind of look at that, and then you can see where we need to cut. Going another section right above the ear, and I'm pulling it out. So notice that my hand is 90 degrees from the head. He can hold his head straight up, and I'm not cutting my previous section, but I'm using it as a guide. I'm gonna go to the section behind the ear. Now there's less hair behind the ear, and you kind of want to gracefully get to the back. So I always pull out and go back a little bit as to like over direct, so that you don't get like a hole behind the ear. So then you can go in and check your sections, and you can make sure it's all kind of lining up. At this point, when you're transitioning from the front to the back, I'd like to go sort of diagonal down, pointing towards the bottom of the hairline down here from the top temple. So I'm taking a section going down, and I can see where that front is short, and I can see where I want to go, and all this hair needs to be trimmed. So I'm holding my hand 90 degrees out still, and I'm just trimming going down. See how I can see my guide, and I can see where I want to go? I'm holding that out. Holding it out 90 degrees from the head, going up. And I can check. Looks very nice and even. So I'm going diagonal down again. Don't cut unless you can see where you're going. So even though I'm pointing down, I'm still holding my hand 90 degrees out from the head. This is not the only way to cut boys' basic haircut. This is my way of doing it. Your hairstylist that's been doing your child's hair might be doing it a completely different way, but this is how I find is easiest to do it. So you can always go up with your comb and check to see that everything's even. And if it's not, you can take your scissors in and kind of just point cut without cutting your fingers. Just take your time. But everything looks pretty even. So at this point, I'm gonna start doing vertical sections again. So, and then you can re-wet the hair if it starts to get too dry. But you don't want it to be like dripping wet, you just want it to be damp. Okay, so I'm gonna take my scissors and my comb down and I can see exactly what I want to cut. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna check that everything else is cut, which it is. I'm gonna go down. And so see how I'm like tapering it in? At this point, I'm holding it 45, my hand's at a 45-degree angle. If I were holding them at 90 degrees out from the head, he would have like a mullet area. Like it would be too long down here. So when I'm tapering it, I'm holding my fingers kind of diagonal to the head. And I'm just checking all this. This is something that you get more and more comfortable with over time. It's kind of empowering to be able to cut your own child's hair. Number one, it's going to save you a ton of time and money. And number two, it's just going to be kind of liberating not to have to schedule around other sports and all that stuff. And you can stop and look through your sections, make sure everything's getting nice and even. The good thing is if you do make a mistake, there are blending shears that you can easily blend with, and no one's gonna see it. I'm going to start on the top now. I'm gonna comb everything down. And let's see what we have. Put your head up, buddy. So the top doesn't usually grow as fast as the back. So I don't want to take it too short on the front because it's not in his eyes and it's not, I don't want it to like shrink up and look like he's got like that Dumb and Dumber haircut. But I am going to trim some of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb it straight down, hold my hands parallel to his eyebrows, and I'm going to point cut. This is kind of like your security blanket on not getting it to looking straight across, like a harsh line. Oops. Combing it down. I'm looking at my previous section and I'm point cutting, and then combing it down. And as I go around, I'm not just keeping it straight down. I'm going around and moving my fingers to where I need to be for his forehead. Okay, head up, turn this way. So you can see, I still need to cut more in here. Always go longer in the front, especially since you're new to this, and you can always cut more. So there's that. Next, what I'm going to do is, what I like to do is hold the hair up a tiny bit. Kind of, I'm holding it not down, but up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take my scissors and point cut just so that they don't have a really heavy bang. And I'm gonna do that one more time, holding it straight up. I'm only really taking a ½ inch off of this, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on this one corner. So my scissors aren't straight down because this is just gonna thin out or create a little bit of texture, but they're facing down into an angle, and that's what's gonna cut the hair. Okay, so now that that front area is done, you might need to like get a towel and wipe their face off or blow dry a little bit of it off. Blow dries, buddy. I'm gonna wet this hair again. I'm gonna comb it straight down. I'm gonna take that center section and I'm going to have my fingers straight up. That's my front piece. All of this stuff, I'm going to go in and cut on an angle with the scissors pointing slanted. I'm gonna drop the hair, go to my next section, pull up a little bit of the previous section as my guide. See how I see it? If I hold that down, I see it. And I'm holding the hair straight out from the head. Now I'm gonna pull it out to see if it all blends. I'm pulling it straight out from the corner to see if the top blends with the side. See how I have this one little blending area? So I'm just gonna go in, and I'm showing you guys to do this point cutting because it's a lot more forgiving. I'm going to the side of that center section, holding it straight up. You can see my guide. I can see that where the front is. You might want to have some band-aids on hand because anytime you point cut, if you're not a professional, you might, you know, if you're doing this for the first time, you might cut your finger. So at this point, you can look around, see if you see anything that looks clumpy or uneven. You could go in with some thinning shears if you do, or if you see an area you want to blend more, and you can just go over with your comb and blend that. Also, if the hair feels like real heavy and bulky, you just want to keep it towards the ends. You don't want to go in close to the scalp with this. See how I'm doing it like this far from the ends, like 1/4 of an inch from the ends. And that's just going to create some movement in his hair so his hair is just not so dense. And then I'm going to come around this side. And I don't want to do it down here because his hair is a little thin down there. But this area is a good area to kind of keep it light. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Shears. I'm going about 1/2 inch from the ends. Okay, at this point, you're going to use your trimmers. Maybe get a little bit of hair off them. You're going to go in with your trimmers and just get all those baby hairs. And then I look at them from the front to see if the sideburns look even. This one looks shorter, so I'm going to go back in and take this one a little bit shorter. Okay. At that point, you've got your nice little trim up. You can put some product in to style it, and then you're good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can check me out on beautifulbymeganhorse.com, and I will see you later. Bye.